Use the square root property to solve 2x squared plus 2 equals 0. This is another one where the perfect square is not yet isolated, so we need to get that x squared alone on the left-hand side before we can apply the square root property. So first, we're going to subtract 2 on both sides to get rid of that constant term. This gives us 2x squared on the left, and 0 minus 2 is negative 2 on the right. Now, to get rid of that coefficient, we can divide both sides by 2. That will give us the x squared alone on the left, and on the right, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So we've got x squared equals negative 1. Now we can apply the square root property. The square root of x squared is just x. And on the right, we know that we need a plus or minus when we use the square root property. So we've got plus or minus the square root of negative 1. However, we know that the square root of negative 1 is the imaginary number I. So in this case, we end up with x equals plus or minus I, which ends up being our final answer. Whenever we have x squared equals a negative number, or something squared equals a negative number, when we use the square root property and take the square root of a negative number, our answer is going to have an I in it. So we can expect to have an answer that's an imaginary number or a complex number whenever we're taking the square root of a negative in one of these problems.